Hey there, welcome to another Tuesday night watch talk. It looks like I just glitched there for a second there, but I'm here. I'm here. I am Bobby Legs, and joining me this evening is our good friend Chaz. Chaz from the Berg.
What's
Uh,
up?
how you doing, Chaz?
Doing great.
Yeah,
How about
yeah.
you?
I'm doing good, but I don't think I'm doing as good as you are. But before we get into that, Uh, I'm going to do a wristwatch check, but I'm going to go first. And there's a
All
reason why I
right.
go first. Okay. Well, I got the Citizen Eco Drive, the Pro Diver. This was it a I don't know 200-meter diver. I forget the name of this one. But it's really cool. It
Ashtray.
came. Yeah,
Ashtray, I
is
think
it
it
the
is.
Ashtray? Yeah. Eco Drive. Just a solid, fun watch, and
Super cool watch. Super cool.
in the theme of what we're going to be talking about uh, in a little bit. But you had a big day today, right?
Yeah. In keeping with that same theme, we're talking about affordable
Mhm.
watches that you can be proud of. So
Yeah.
I kind of got a new affordable in. I want to reveal it here on the Great Bobby Legs channel. And
Okay. All right. Well, let's
but
give you
it
a solo lay. Oh! I accidentally kicked you out of the shoes. I took away your moment.
there we go.
Oh,
The
there you go.
Rolex 216570, new to
Con-
me.
wow.
Uh,
Wow. Awesome.
yeah,
Congratulations, Chaz.
thank
Hey,
you.
listen. Tell us about your first impressions of this.
Well, every time I start talking, I end up singing. So if I break into a song, just wanted you to have the music ready. But um, yeah, it's been music all day, really. Uh, I kind of made this decision. I've been looking at it for a long time. You've
Yeah.
heard me talk about
Oh
it,
yeah. Yeah.
and
Rolex seemed to escape you, right? Or not
yeah,
escape to you, but it just you just hadn't had found the right moment to make that jump into Rolex. And
right. And it's the one I wanted. The Explorer 2 is a good size for me. I love the orange second. The GMT hand, and I like it. It's a little bit low key
mhm.
for Rolex. It's not one of those in your face models. So it's a good Rolex for a poor guy from the Berg. So,
Yeah.
but I really do like it. I found I felt like a good deal on the previous generation with the ghost hands and just I was talking to you about it earlier. It's just a step above anything I've
Hmm.
handled, and it's my first ownership of a Rolex, and I've always been a fan. My uncle growing up had a day date that I was goo over as a young lad. So and a lot of my friends are multiple Rolex owners, like Wolfie, for example.
Oh,
So
speaking of Wolfie, he's gonna be watching this tomorrow. Now, look, I didn't have time to get an animation for you. With this, have I done with the past? But in honor of you and in honor of Wolfie watching this 8 hours from now, let's
Wolfie Baller. Wolfie Baller.
yeah. So
perfect, perfect.
so a little Chaz baller, but with Wolfie.
Well, it's got my orange in there. It's I think a classic watch. It's a sports watch. It's it, it's just a step above. It's all I could
Yeah,
say. I've had the
yeah.
blessing of owning some good watches, but this is just kind of a step above for me.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And we were talking, like you mentioned earlier, before the stream started. When you have it in hand, there's something. I was taken back by how like just solid the bracelet was on
Hmm.
my Submariner, and I'm like, man, this is like this feels it's hard to describe. I mean, the best word I mentioned it is solid, but
Yeah.
it's much more than that, right? And it's substantial. It's trustworthy.
Hmm.
It's the real deal, right?
Yeah,
And then
it's just a step above.
yeah, and then the winding was
Oh man.
perfect. Your bezel doesn't move, but like my timing bezel just like it's like the best. It's the best bezel action out of any watch I've ever had.
Well,
And
my bezel may not move, but you don't have a GMT hand.
no,
So
that's true. That's true. No.
no,
Yeah,
I'm just-
absolutely. But no, congratulations, man.
I have felt the bezel action on a sub, and I would say I've
Yeah.
never. I mean, to me, I've never felt one like it. So it's amazing. But on this one, I have several GMT watches and have had, and just the jump hour on this is just a different thing. You know, it just
Hmm.
clicks.
Hmm.
Every one, it just clicks
Yeah.
exactly like it's supposed to.
Yeah.
The crown, I got lucky. The crown is straight up when it closes, so it looks like
Yeah.
it was. You know, that's kind of luck, but
Yeah.
still, I'm singing always. So
Now there was pain involved, right? I mean, you did have
yeah,
to
yeah, I did. I traded
give
a
something up.
watch I do love.
Yeah.
You know, and I hope to reclaim at least a version of that watch in the future.
Yeah.
But that's kind of the way it makes it easier for me. If I'm
Mhm.
getting a bigger watch in, I'd probably have to give up something, and
Yeah. Yeah.
it also slows me down from just constantly adding, more watches. So
Yeah. And I've heard you mention like you don't want like a lot of like bigger pieces in your piece. Like
no,
you're good with
I
one.
yeah,
Yeah.
I've got a finite sum that I
Yeah.
want watches to be involved in watches in general.
Yeah.
And even though I've got fewer watches and own better watches, I don't want to come down to where I've just got two watches that are both worth
Hmm.
that sum of money.
Yeah.
So that's just me, though. Everybody's
Yeah.
got their own comfort zone. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You seem to find the winning formula, whether the watches rotate in and out of the collection or not. That's another
Right.
thing. But you have the winning formula. You have like the one substantial piece for you, and then you have several others that are price wise not at that level, but still
Right.
high quality pieces. I mean, like
Right.
we all our watches don't need to be $10,000 watches.
No, I mean, first of all, I
although-
would have very few watches if that were true for me.
Right,
So,
right. I mean, and look, I realize what I'm saying here. That's nuts. Like all of our watches. I
yeah.
mean, I know, not all of us can play in that. Not all of us can
Right.
afford one $10,000 watch, or
Right.
it's not that we can't afford it, but maybe we don't choose to spend our money that way, right? And
Yeah.
so,
Some people don't want to put that big of a commitment into what is basically
Absolutely.
a hobby. You know.
Get that. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
Right.
Very, very true. But what I'm getting at is that there's so many watches that are way more affordable, and that's going to go to our theme here of the rest of the stream after we talk to the chat. That are just phenomenal watches that you're proud to have in your collection, and yeah, so like not all watches have to be $20,000 or $50,000 or $10,000,
Right.
or even $5,000. $1,000 or less. There's plenty of watches out there that you can get and have in your collection, and be proud of that collection. So before we get into that, let's talk to the chat and see how everybody's doing this evening. Christopher is here. He's wearing his Citizen Green Sayosa. My best watch. Hey, that is a really good watch. I had that watch in for review a few months ago. Gave it away too to a lucky winner on the lucky subscriber on the channel. Great piece. What do you mean by high quality affordable? Well, we're gonna get into that. I mean, just hang in there on the Achieving Watch Collector. There's Marcel. How you doing? Good to see you wearing the blue side of the moon. Bruno is here. Watch Lounge. Chris is here. What's up, Keith? Enjoying a cigar on the porch. It's perfect out there tonight. Squall at 1521 on wrist. High quality, affordable. My collection has to be the Hamilton Keggy Quartz. Very good. Very, very good pick there for sure.
Good watch.
Rob is here. How you doing, Bill K? James Duffy. I'm gonna skip right through a lot of these. MSTQ, how you doing? BJ's here. Scott Tarlo, I'm not proud of any of my watches. I didn't make them. I just bought them. They have nothing to do with it. Okay. Mez9 is here. Young Excellency chiming in with his SARB 033 on wrist. A very great, affordable,
Nice.
high quality watch right there for sure. Joey B is here. Colin is wearing the Panda tonight. Pale Horse is here. Michael, what's going on? How you doing? BJ sharing congrats with you, and so is James.
Thanks.
And a lot of people giving you congratulations here. I'm just going to go through. Hey, Rasan, good to see you, man.
Hey, Ron, good to
Congrats,
see you, man.
Hamid just got here for the music started already. Colin was going to cry. Hey, Paul, how you doing? Good to see you. Brownie is here. Chiller in the Sand is wearing his vintage Datejust 36. That's great, man. Awesome. Hey, wait, man. Greetings. Wearing his GS show flying tomorrow. So ready the GMT. Very nice.
Beautiful watch.
Chris, thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate it. Thanks, man.
Thanks, Chris.
Bobby's here. Chaz, you're 4 rolls away from Wolfie. Hey, MJ. Hello, ladies. Haha. Happy to be here for after a long break. Looking okay. Everything's going well for sure.
Good to see you.
And something. What's up, man? Just tune in. Congrats, Chaz. Always nice to see somebody that I watch they enjoy. Kevin S. What's going on here? KR Joy's here. How are you? Caliber. What's going on? How you doing? The GMT, the T stands for Chaz's hat right there. Yeah, the Tennessee Volunteers.
Rocky Top.
Kevin S. Every Seiko diver I've owned has been a high quality, affordable. Very good point. We're going to be talking about Seiko as well. All right. Chaz got the new Explorer 2, the black dot. Well, I mean, new to him. It's a pre-owned, but in excellent condition. You were saying to me earlier that it looked like nobody had ever worn that watch before.
I'm not sure it's been out of the box, but it's in really good condition for. I think it's a 2020 version, so one of the laters of that previous gen, but it's in really good shape.
Yeah. Excellent. Okay, so going with the theme of today's episode, what is a high quality, affordable watch in your collection that you're proud of, whether you still have it or not? In this whole process of collecting and finding your own way, some of us, or maybe many of us, have rotated watches in and out of our collection, just trying to figure out like what we like and whatnot. And sometimes you get a good high quality piece, and you let it go, a very affordable piece. And we're gonna talk about watches under $1,000 tonight. There's just so many out there. So I've had so many that came in and out of the collection, and that there were high quality watches. And most of these watches I would get back again. Chaz, let's talk about some of yours now. The first one we're going to bring up. Let me bring it up, and then you can talk so you can see what I'm bringing up here. And that is the Seiko Spirit, the I can never say this one.
Giugiaro
design.
That's what TGB says. So we'll go with his version.
Yeah. So tell us about this one, this little piece right here that you got.
It's first of all, the watch I have is gifted to me by a very good friend, and so that in itself makes it very special to me. But besides that, those Giugiaro designs to me from Seiko represent such a neat kind of a time period. The whole racing thing. This particular one I have was a racing series. I think they said it was for cyclists. And I've done a lot of cycling. I do a lot of cycling. I've looky, here he is. There he is.
Dib's here.
What's up, Dib?
How you doing, buddy?
But this was a limited edition of I think 1,500 pieces, and the one I have is the black. The blacked out with the orange accents, and super cool. These were made. It's the dial is at an angle like you do in a lot of driving watches, but this is made, I think, for cycling. Just and I love the Giugiaro design Seikos. The whole, I could, I mean, seriously, if I knew more about them, I could collect them, all of
Yeah,
them. I think
yeah.
some of them are very iconic.
Hmm.
But yeah, very proud of that watch. It's, I think you could probably, they're still, I think they were, came out in 2017, but I think you can still find some new old stock at like Secura and
Hmm.
other places for around $300. So
Yeah,
uh, I
and
think it's
and
a,
yeah, no, and it's a really interesting design, right?
right,
And look, it's not like what you expect from Seiko. Although Seiko has thousands of Seiko will have more watches than I'll ever know, right?
right,
In
right,
their catalog. But for $300, you can get this great little quartz chronograph, something that you don't see every day, something that's
right.
limited, specifically with a piece that you have. Under $1,000, way under $1,000, and just a really neat watch, neat, nifty watch, man.
Yeah, I wouldn't be
Um,
ashamed to wear that anywhere.
yeah,
I think it's good brand heritage. I think the design, whether or not that's your cup of tea, is a different story.
yeah,
But it does represent a place in time. I just love that. To me, it's got a lot of like '90s vibes to it.
yeah,
Maybe early aughts. It's just cool. It's just
yeah.
cool.
Jumping in, Colin saying my favorite sub 1,000 watches I have are my Bling Master, excellent. Citizen Pro Master, Aqua Land Loom Dial, and the Moon Swatch Mars, and of course the Mayor G-Shock, the Wolfie. Um, Bill K saying a few years ago, I got a brand new Jean Richard 1699 with a GP in-house movement for $1,000. Excellent, excellent, man. If you can,
It's great.
if anybody, if you guys are out there and you run into a Jean Richard, if you get one with a Gerard Perregaux movement, one of those, and for a price like that, I mean, I don't know if you'll see a price like that again, but those are some really solid watches for sure.
Really.
Bobby saying Halios is the Rolex of micro brands. Well-made watches, hides their movements, goes in a jiffy, secondhand profit. And speaking of Halios, that's another watch in your collection, right?
Right.
Let's throw that up there. That you have the Halios Universa, and we're going to highlight a picture of it. Dibs Buddy Beans did a video.
Beans
On
has done
this,
some
so
great videos of Helios. He does great video work anyway, but yeah, he's filmed several. But yeah, and yeah, I got the pastel blue. It's a manual wind. I think Solita movement, and it's the the reason I like that. It's a little small for me, to be honest. It's a 38, and it's but I can still wear it even on my ginormous wrist, and it's very comfortable. I mean,
yeah,
the high quality. I mean, for the money, if you get these at retail, I think I paid $700 for this.
Yeah.
Brand new.
Yeah.
They're hard to get. When he puts a batch up, they sell out. Really quickly. But even though this is a little small, I love the layout of the Universa.
Yeah.
It's with the 12, 3, 6, 9 markers. I just love that. And the applied indices. It's a real thin watch. It's just great for the money. I think I could wear a Helios, and I've owned a couple of other Helios models, and never had a dud. All of them really well.
Yeah.
Jason does a great job. You won't get your email replied to, but you get a good watch if you catch it. So
yeah. Dib, you're a big fan of Helios, right?
I think I got the opportunity to experience one in person. Really great build quality for the price. Global Light Loom. I don't remember the model I got, but it was a yellow one. The field one looking great watch. I think like I usually have a very small concentration for affordable brands. just because of the way my collection has been going. I
Mhm.
think I focus on Seiko, and if I can, Citizen.
Yeah.
Not too bullish on micro brands, but I have had a few over the last few years. I think I've had a few Lauriers.
Hmm.
Um, can't think of anything that I've
Yeah,
had.
no,
I
it's
just
good.
I just focus too much on Seiko.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, listen, and that's another avenue to go as well. And speaking of Seiko, Chaz, next on your list here is the SPB 153 Seiko Prospects Captain Willard. Great
Hmm.
reissue. Now, when we talk about like sub 1000, we're also talking about watches that you can get in the secondary for under 1,000. Like watches that maybe are above 1,000, you can get in the secondary too. So those count too. Chaz, tell
Yeah,
us
and
about your Willard.
well, full disclosure, when I bought mine, I paid slightly over $1,000 for it
Yeah.
because it had just released,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean I fell in love with it. I love everything about the I call it the Dr. Willard because Amin also owns this watch,
Yeah.
and and but I got this. I mean, it was early on I remember when I bought it thinking, wow, I'm paying over $1,000 for Seiko. This hurts.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I immediately fell in love with it. Love everything about it. Love the story. Love the history of the brand. I think the 6L movement in this is really good. Nip can talk about the movement better than I can, but they upped the power reserve in this. It's all in house. The finishing, to me, for the money, I think it's really hard to beat, uh, and it wears so well. That cushion case, slightly smaller than for example, a turtle, which again is another wonderful affordable watch. If somebody wants a watch sub, you can get a king turtle for $500 probably.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you can't. I mean, for the money, you can't beat it. It's a wonderful in-house movement, finishing
Yeah.
strong, wearability. You can wear this watch anywhere. You can dive in it if you want.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I just love the Willard and everything about it.
Yeah. No, and you have a very nice collection of affordables here. Watches that you can for sure definitely be proud of here. Marceau is wearing his Mito Commander Big Date was a killer watch for the way under I assume 1,000 here. I'm tempted to buy the new Green Dial version.
I think
Um,
Mido, Rado. Can you get a Rado under 1,000? Probably not. You can get used Doris for below $1,000. In the microbrand space, I think Traska, Nodus,
mm,
Celos, even Boulder does a good job. Laurier, as I said. I can't remember any of the other brands because like they're too homogy for me. But
yeah,
Formax.
Formex is not below. I mean, their field watch is below $1,000,
yeah.
but I don't
What
think
about
that.
on the secondary?
On the secondary, it's mostly
It's
around like
tough.
1,000 to
Yeah,
1,300. You know.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
right at the
It's
right
tough.
at the bar.
But right
Yeah,
at the bar. But right at the bar.
right
Right.
at the
I mean
bar.
that's
But they're
fine.
great watches. I
They're a
mean,
great watch.
You can get
again, I think. No, go ahead, Dale.
now you can get multiple Christopher Wards below $1,000.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But
You can get some
they're
Zen, right? Right, Chaz? You can get some Zen. You were mentioning the 556. You
Yeah, and
pre-owned, you can find
I've
those.
even seen some examples of the 104. I mean, I've seen some of those go for right at a little under. You used to could get them regularly for $1,000. Then
Yeah,
they kind
yeah,
of everything went up, but it's coming back
yeah.
down. Um, 104, 556, either one of those
Yep.
on the secondary market, hard to beat.
Yeah.
I think the Zen prices have reached the point where it's. I'm not saying the deals aren't out there, but they are getting difficult to
Yeah, they're getting
buy them at
difficult.
the
I mean,
$1,000 mark.
yeah, I mean, you have to work it for a Zen, at that price range for 1,000. You have to work it, but you can find them. They pop up every once in a while. Wayman saying proud is a wrong word, but the best affordable watch I own is a Citizen Silverleaf with blue textured dial. very grand Seiko S 600 ish. Yeah, I mean that's
Treat
great.
owns that watch too. Really good watch for the price. Um,
Yeah, James is saying not counting vintage, it would have to be my Seiko, the navy blue Seiko Monster and the Seiko SARW013 Urushi dial.
you
Uh,
can pick up
That's a good watch.
you can pick up multiple Longines around the $1,000
yeah,
mark.
yeah.
Uh, like even
Lori,
Joma Shop has a few for less than 1,000.
yep, yep. Laurier Hyperion GMT. Mm-hmm. Uh, Chrissy Green, Halos are great watches. Kevin S. By pride, I think they mean by pride of ownership. You own something that you think highly, despite the low price. Yes, thank you,
Yeah.
Kevin. Seaworth, Willard is a great watch. Willard, getting some love. Seiko divers have great history, solid build quality, true in-house design and components, and respect. A very professional diver who
E-
whoever put on
Even
website.
even the cheapest Seiko 5 line, for example, the prices are right around the $400 to $500 mark. Now,
Yeah.
people getting into the hobby or people who really care about specs will kind of poo-poo the watch because it doesn't have a sapphire crystal, an excellent movement. It's basic, but if you search around, you can pretty much find them for even like 150 bucks, like
Yeah.
200 bucks, 250 bucks, like, and you might not even have to buy it like used. So they're great values at that price
Mm.
point. Orient is another one. If you
Yeah.
like if you want your value for money specs.
Here,
uh,
you get this Prospects 200, a baby reduce SBDC 125, 990 normal shop. You add it to cart, you get another 55% off, and that comes out to $940. For this watch, brand new from Nomon, you get it in 2 days from
What a great
Singapore.
watch too.
Great
What a great
watch.
watch.
I had this. I was really. I'm tempted to pick this up again. Um, just I love these baby quote unquote baby Marine Master reduced.
Hmm.
They're great watches.
I
Um,
think, Bobby, I think you forgot your favorite brand, the purveyor of design, Baltic.
Stop it. We're not
I, I,
talking
I
about
think
politics.
I
Come on, I'm
think
in a
that
good mood. I'm in a good
what did
mood tonight.
what did the Mandalorian say? This is the way.
This is the way. Yeah. Um, just got the bracelet from my Chaz Willard and love it even more now. Um, if you look hard enough, you can get a Fusion watch is under 1,000. That is a good value. Um, Wilson putting his vote in for Borealis. Um,
Yeah, but
Scott,
unfortunately, it was a bad brand anyway. At least
yeah,
to me, I don't care if the owner's watching. But then it got associated with random knob. I mean, ugh,
yeah.
please.
Scott tells us, I've been thinking about selling my Zen. I see 556s selling for like 1,300 used. Yeah, I mean they've crept up for sure. Um, but I think deals can still be fun. Every once in a while, I see one just get under $1,000.
We,
Um,
we forgot another purveyor of design, Mr. Fuller Murray.
okay,
Mm.
Dave, come on. We're staying positive here tonight. Okay, staying
It's a good
positive.
watch. It looks good. Like
Yeah.
if you show that to somebody, they'd be thinking, "Oh man, that's a nice Patek." Can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, Joey B saying most Longines in the Conquest line can be had on the secondary under 1K.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see that all day long in toppers.
I was
Uh,
searching. So one of my friends want a Swiss watch, and I told him, like, go look at all these brands, and he came back with a Hydra Conquest. He's like, can you get me a good price? And then I see Joma Shop. It's like, I can't give Joma Shop's price. 925. Swiss movement, I won't say it's the best watch out there, but for something which people know, like it's a heritage brand, can't really go wrong with it. Yeah.
Citizen Signature Series are amazing value and underrated. Rasan saying the Hydro Quests are good looking watches. Yep, they certainly are. Um, Michael B saying you can't beat those lower swatch tiers new under 1K. Hamilton, another great example. Hamilton khaki field, kind of like an iconic field watch, mechanical field watch for sure. Those you can get for 300, 400, $500 all day new with discounts, or even pre-owned.
I owned a Murph. Back when that thing was popular, and I got that for
mm,
under 1,000. Great watch, great
yeah.
watch.
I,
Damasco DS with the ETA movements, you can probably still maybe get under 1,000 with the
I
new
think I think
movements
the MSRP
in
is
house.
right there at like
Yeah,
995.
yeah. The in house you're not going to get for under a
No,
thousand.
that's like 14, 1500, I think.
Yeah. Um, let's see here. Only bad thing about Noman now is that you have to pay import fees on anything over 600. Well,
That,
that's sad news, but
that,
I've
that,
never
that
had
that's
to.
why that's why I say if you're buying anything Japanese and you can buy it from a local dealer that you
Yeah.
have, you might pay $50 extra to the guy, but you establish a relationship with him
Mm,
or her. Like you get in line with anything that's coming out easily. So for me, the only Seiko watches that I buy from Japan are something which my US dealers can't get me.
mm-hmm.
Now, my US dealers are usually more expensive than something from Japan, but I still buy it from them because that way I'm building a history with them. And,
Yeah.
like if something really special comes out, let's say Seiko, turns a new leaf and they come out with a 100-piece limited watch, I know I'll get one.
Yeah. Haman with the Bobby Baltic. I don't know if I like that. Marceau. Oh, funny. Long Island watches are on the $3,000. Okay.
Great watch. I mean, great watch. I think uh,
Hey, you were. I think you were singled out on a video I was watching the other day.
I don't know. Honestly,
I
I
I think TGV marked you off his list.
Yeah, and then as a result, he unsubscribed from my channel. It sounds like.
Mm,
I don't
mm.
know what went on. I haven't watched his videos. I can't comment.
Mm,
But Long Island Watches is the best watch out there. I mean, I'm sorry for misleading everyone in the chat for all these
okay.
months, but they are gold. I mean, like they are a better Seiko. They are being pumped by people who know a lot more about watches than I do.
Okay.
And I think you should follow them and buy it. Make Mark happy and rich. I'm all
Colin,
about positivity today.
Colin has told his wife that that her Furo Amari is a Patek. Wait. I told my wife her full on Mari is the Patek of fake Italy. Um, used handhards will sell for a good price for sure. Uh,
Good
Wilson saying
watches.
I saw a full on Mari once and it made me tingle. Oh boy. Oh boy. Um, an intern made me miss out on the Skirfa. Skirfa nice with some releases today. Titanium watches for around $300. Very good. Um, I got a Nomos Club for like $690. I don't know if you can get those that cheap anymore.
You can,
Um,
you can
you
get them
can?
for
Okay, but they're probably not in great shape. They're probably a little beat up.
the
Um,
watch you can get. I never said the shape was good.
okay, I'm sorry. Wayben says, I have a cool Hamilton Jazzmaster skeleton. Their dress watches are interesting and don't get much attention.
I, I
Um,
I think the only line in the Hamilton lineup is the khaki line, which gets some sort of attention from people.
yeah, Doxa Sub 200 comes in just
Just
under
under 1K, you
1K.
can probably get a 600T used below 1K. I don't know where the prices are on those.
Let's
We
see
saw a
here.
750T sell for under 1,000 on Friday.
Yeah, that
I
that
looked for it
that
today. It's not on there, but it
that
was
that that,
that
that
was
that's a mistake. That's a mistake.
yeah. I think that was a mistake. That watch probably sold for over $2,000 when it was, but they had it listed
So
for
I've
nine
had
ninety.
this exact issue with toppers where I took advantage, right? A
Yeah,
watch was mislabeled $1,000 cheaper than what it should have been. That watch should have been set 1999, Because
Yeah,
it's limited. It's not even made by the current Jenny family. It was
Right.
on the Rick Murray watches. So definitely they made a mistake.
you want a German watch and pay close to $800 for this after the 10%? This
Yeah.
is not a bad choice here. The
Good watch.
Mulek Lajut Panova Green, if you like that this look, this is a pretty good watch. It's a pretty good watch.
What
Um,
was? Is it a? Did you say glass
it's Glasute,
Yeah.
Glasute,
glass
Glasute,
God.
sheet?
Glasute,
Hootie?
Glasute.
Hootie?
I'm
Okay.
Glasute.
Okay.
Look at these. Look at these Seikos here. Great dive watches under $1,000. Glycine Combat Sub, classic. There's
TGV
some great
favorite.
pieces. Yeah. G Shocks. Let's not forget about G Shocks here.
Oh,
Um,
that's Baltic too. I mean, it's
Stop
right
it.
there, Bobby. Right there.
Stop.
Run the table.
Stop it. You get a nice little sumo here for 750.
There's a Tag
Yeah,
Heuer for $500. Paul should be happy.
yeah. I think it's
So
is it
ladies'
a
courts,
women's
I
one?
think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's right. Yeah, that's up his alley. Um, so many watches. MJ liking that Mule Glacute. Topper's live by to it, Bobby. uh, Mark is a quality retailer, but I'm not proud of his own uh, Long Island watches.
Yep. Again, I have bought a Squally from him 4 years ago. Great, fast shipping, responsive. Nothing against his service. Just, the brand, it's so
Yeah,
awesome that I can't reach towards its awesomeness. Yeah, it's just I miss it. Like I'm wearing a shitty Seiko. Like who am I? I don't know anything.
but when you say shit, I mean like you're proud of that watch,
I
right? You're
mean,
proud
it's
of that
it's
in your
it's
collection.
a design which Seiko has perfected from the 70s.
Yeah,
You know, I don't think Long Island Watch can really see that.
yeah, yeah. Well,
Like iconic design, and if you can literally pick these up for $200 used. I mean, the amount of value that you're getting, if it's not working fine, put a slap a movement in. Regulate it for $50.
yeah.
Like I think we just get spoiled by the number of choices that we have, and I think we just need to be more grateful and buy Long Island watches.
You know, Deb, um, you're so full of it.
No, I'm telling you, one of these days I'll buy a Long Island watch. I'm ready. I'm ready to learn. I'm ready to
Would you
accept.
would you add so like if you came across like a Doxa for under 1,000, um, would you add Doxa again? Because you went through a phase where you were into Doxa.
I, the only doxa that I really want or would potentially think of adding to the collection would be a sub 300. So that's the cask certified one, and you can't get that for $1,000.
Hmm.
You just can't.
But if you got it, you would have a Seiko and a Doxa in your collection.
No, I won't.
Seiko Doxa. Seiko Doxa.
Like a beauty. Never gets old.
Yeah, I knew that was coming.
I was trying to slow play you, man. I was trying to slow play you. We got the Wolfie in. Like like if Amin was here, I'd run his animation. I just didn't have time to do one for Chaz. So
Mm.
Wolfie and you. We had a we had a we had a, we had a
You'd have
what
to
was his
use the
name?
widescreen if you did one for me.
Yeah. Dib looks hot in red. He does.
No,
He
no.
does. Red is definitely color. Is his color. Uh, anyway, okay. So I think we did pretty good there. We addressed the topic.
I think the at the end of the day, the only thing I'd say, and this is me being serious, is I look at my watch, and I mean, obviously, like watch designers take inspiration from so many things out there. Like at the end of the day, it's a round dial with a round case, or but there has to be some originality to the watch that I'm getting,
Mhm,
and
mhm.
that is where pride of ownership comes in. I mean, I can buy a Seastone watch, but I won't. It's like, why will I feed somebody who is making an entire copy or something which exactly looks like something that's already out there? And again, Seiko is one of my favorite brands. I'm not gonna let Seiko off the leash. There are so many Seikos which are direct rip-offs of Datejust, like the older ones at least. Why did they do that? They should not have done that. But like they make up by making so many original watches that all right, I can give them a pass.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Hey,
I'll
listen.
shut up
Why
now.
don't? What was that, Jess?
I'll shut up now.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you say we take a look at some releases? A couple of things did come out today. One in particular, the new Breguet Type 20 and Type 20 chronograph. Dib, what do you think? You like Breguet? What do you think we got here?
uh, it's a mixed bag of feelings for me with this watch. On one hand, I certainly don't dislike it.
Hmm.
Price is pretty much in line with what you would expect from a brand like Breguet.
Yeah.
They have a brand new movement out, a 5 hertz movement with a column wheel and a vertical clutch. So those are not cheap to make. Definitely, the design harkens back to some older Breguet Type 20, I think. But all in all, it's so hard to justify this watch at $18,000-$19,000 when the Breitling AVI 765 exists at
Right.
say $6,000, $7,000. It's just that I think design wise they missed out on an opportunity to be groundbreaking. You know, they're not really reinventing the wheel, but you
Yeah.
do need to question yourself, like how many people are actually buying. So what is the direct equivalent competitor to this watch? The only thing that I can think of is a Blancpain Air Command.
Yeah.
How many people are buying that?
Yeah.
So how many people are going to buy this? And this is me coming in
Mm.
before I even criticize the horrendous date window there. Like,
Yeah.
why
Yeah.
does the date? So, if you look at the older Type 20 with the 3800 reference movement, they have the date position. So, they had two versions. One is called the Aero Naval, the other one is called the Transatlantique. The Transatlantique has the date at the 6 o'clock window, cut out right where the R counter is. And that's such a cohesive design. And here, the date window just looks like an ISO, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely. Look, I don't. I have I've had watches with the date window, at the 430 position. That's never bothered me. I know people get really uptight with the symmetry and whatnot. That is, you can't have a date window as big as
And
the
yeah, it's big
hours.
too.
You
It's
know what I
just
mean? Like it's just it takes up so much space. It's like it looks like one continuous space from the 4 to the 5, and it's just not pleasing, especially on the watch on the left, the twin register. I mean, for me, that just like my eyes automatically like focusing on that date window, and that's a miss. That's a shame because I think aesthetically even though the watch is, you know, a derivative in a sense that, there's nothing design wise that's blowing me away. It's still pleasing to the eye in general, but when you have that date window, it just throws everything off. With the watch with the three register one, it's not as egregious, but I mean, it's still there. It's still bad. It's a deal breaker. I mean, like, not only the price, but it's a deal breaker, for me.
Price wise, I think it's okay, just because it comes from a heritage high
No,
horology
no,
brand,
I'm not saying that I think it's overpriced. I'm just saying that I'm not spending $19,000
Oh yeah,
on
yeah,
this watch. That's all.
100%. Honestly,
Um,
they should have just not done the date. Without the date, this would be
yeah,
so much better.
agreed. Like, why? Like, why even do the date?
I mean,
I'm with you.
this movement family, they were built from the ground up.
Yeah,
So Breguet has invested a lot of money. Well, Swatch Group has invested a lot of money into this. So I just can't understand the rationale where, like somebody in the design meeting thought, yeah, this is a good design. Let's slap a date on it. I don't know.
yeah.
I
It just seems
I
like it's
I'd
it
still
just
get the older Type 20.
yeah.
But
It makes the older Type 20s like that much more desirable. I mean, like, I never really even thought of an older, like, one with the non-in-house movement, right? Off the shelf movement. I'm sure they do some work with it, and I'm sure they regulate it and do whatever they do with it. But I think I'd rather save the money and and uh, and and go something with not an in-house if I want a Brigade Type 20. You know.
honestly, the only reason why I never bought the older Type 20 over a Speedy or a El Primero or even a Breitling Navitimer, I've had all those three watches,
Hmm.
is the fact that the Type 20 had a 1185 Frederick Piguet movement, and it's a great movement, column wheel, vertical clutch, flyback chrono. The only thing which always bothered me is like the frequency with which you service that movement
Hmm.
is 2 to 3 years.
Hmm.
It's a high maintenance movement. Every time you send it into brigades, $1,000 to
Yeah.
service. Um, it's just a high maintenance watch,
Yeah.
and I'm not ready to have something which is high maintenance, even though I like the watch, especially
Yeah.
because you see all the numerals on the watch on the right in the older Type 20 at least, they were filled with lacquer. So that's why some of them have faded away over the,
Yeah.
due to the use over the last few years. So I don't know if this one's the same way because I haven't really read about it, but
Yeah.
it's just that's the only reason why I did not get it. But now it just looks more appealing.
Yeah. Chaz, any thoughts? Anything?
Just, I mean, if I was going to put $20,000 into a Brigade, I wouldn't go with this one.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
there's so many of their really nice dress pieces you could get for that kind of
Hmm.
money.
Hmm.
Um, I don't. It's not that bad. The date is kind of a disaster. I don't know where else you put it. Um, if they'd have left it off, it would have been an improvement. It seems, but
Yeah.
you know, um, but I think otherwise they're probably nice. The nice watches. I don't
Yeah.
think Brigade makes junk. Um,
Right. Right.
yeah. So I just if I for that much money, it puts it in a different category for me.
Yeah. Joey B saying dip kind of reminds me of the Rock. Anyone else?
No,
Um, Colin saying I thought it was just me, Joey. So Colin also thinking that. Interesting. I wonder where this is going. Do you smell what Dib is cooking? Hey, quicker than drawing. How you doing? Good to see you. Wilson very disappointed with the Breguet. Um, BJ saying I wish they didn't have that date window. MJ putting his vote for the Bremont H1 Supernova. That's the new one. Dial layout is still better than the 21. Damn, I still not sure about the 15-minute counter. Let's see here. Chiller in the
the
sand. Big eye
the
look with the date window. I don't know.
the,
Go ahead,
uh,
Kyle.
the other thing which I find really egregious is the fact that if you zoom into that picture, zoom into the date window, if you
This
can.
is
So they have the word Swiss made at the date window. Why?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's another thing which really bugged me.
Yeah. Good catch there. Date just gets lost in the corner, for sure. If Chaz was going to put 20K into watches, he would get two Rolex.
Kevin knows me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Big Risk chiming in. Hey, the dials are busy. These dials, that for sure. I got the AVI 765 used for 4K. John says. Yeah, for sure. Okay. Let's see. Is there anything else? All right. How do I zoom out here? Boom. Okay. Boom. Some bolder releases here. New Maurice Lacroix is dressed to impress. Yema. All right. So kind of a little slow here for the last couple of days. Well, I mean, there are some boutique
I
editions.
don't mind that Yama.
You don't.
No, I like the colorway.
I
mean,
could have sworn I've seen a Belova look like this. Didn't have a
I,
Belova like the
I wouldn't
surfboard.
pay more than $200 for it, but it's $2,000, so
Yeah.
that's decent. You know, the colorway
I
is
think
decent.
Hamilton did this watch better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
They
hey,
call it
Ches,
that diving board.
Ches, when are you getting that Yema? You're getting that Yema suit,
I got
right?
one inbound. I'm just it's one of those things. I've been still waiting for a tracking number. You know, it's supply chain issues. I assume it's still left over from the pandemic. So
Yeah.
I'm guessing that's what it is. But you know, hey, I'm patient. I'm patient. I'm not going anywhere.
Dib,
A Yema is worth waiting on.
Yeah, it is. Dib, what do you think the chances are that Chaz gets another Rolex? I'm not going to say at
Oh,
the end
another
of the
Rolex.
year. And I'm not going to say at the end of the year, but in a year's time.
I'd say it's 22%.
22%. Chat, what do you think? What's the percentage? I give it a little bit higher. I give it like around a 35 percent, like or 33, like a 1 in 3 chance that Chaz goes and gets another Rolex. Now, what do you think that next Rolex would be, Deb? Like, what do you think he would go for? I let me just chime in before you. You know, he's got the GMT now, right? With the Explorer 2. You know, I could see him going like, dare I say, like a Hulk. I mean, Starbucks. What do you think? Deb, why are you texting somebody right now?
I think
Dib's dying to say that he's dying to say that Starbucks is too small for my wrist. He's dying to say that.
He wants to shame you. So you think more deep sea? You think more sea dweller for him?
I think the challenge titanium Rolex would be a good watch for Chaz, but I think it's a little pricey. So let's settle with the Sky Dweller. You know.
Ooh, you think he goes school? Whoa, wow. I mean, I didn't see that coming, Deb. I didn't see
this
that.
escalated quickly.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I could land the plane on a sea dweller. I think. Now that I think about it, it's something for Chaz. That means though, well, he's not going to get rid of his Planet Ocean because, and that's a big diver. Maybe I'm rethinking the sea dweller because of the colors he likes on that. I'm going to think about this a little bit more. Yeah, I mean, Marceau says sea dweller. Colin gives it 85% chance.
If I got a diver, it would be the sea dweller.
Sea dweller, yeah, okay.
For me, not that I don't love the sub and the Starbucks. I mean, great watches. But if I got a Rolex diver, it would be a. But I think Hobo Man's got me figured out. I'm good on Rolex for a while.
Yeah.
Famous last words, I know.
Yeah. Vintage oyster quartz, Sea Dollar 43 at 85. See, I think the Explorer 2, it opens the door slightly, right? It just opens the door. Now, now you're going to be hyper aware of Rolex, right? And if when other people are wearing it, if you see it, you're going to spot it, right? It's just like when you buy a car, then you start spotting all the other people driving the same car on the highway,
You
and
know what was
then
really cool? You know what was
mm,
really cool, Rob? Wilson has already sent me the password, and then you showed me the secret handshake. So I forgot to mention that. I'm really appreciative.
yeah, yeah,
Well, getting the password to the special secret website, and then knowing the handshake.
yeah,
Thanks, guys. It means a lot to me.
yeah. No, no, no worries, no worries. We'll send you the robe and the hat. It's coming in the mail. But and then you're gonna start like when you meet up with us, right? When we all get around meeting up and you start trying on other people's Rolexes,
Mm,
it's just gonna wet your whistle. It's just
yeah,
gonna wet your
yeah.
whistle.
I think just enjoy the Explorer 2. Rolex
Oh,
isn't going
Dib, you're no
anywhere.
fun, man. You're no fun.
No, I mean, but
Come on.
I know Chaz. Chaz is not getting a Rolex anytime soon. But if he does, he gets to experience this one. The Sea Dweller isn't really going anywhere. It's not a hot watch. You can get it in a couple of months without having a significant spend history. I'm just basing that on the fact. I'm
Amen.
just basing that on
Amen.
the fact that they're not hot on the secondary.
Mm.
Right, right.
Yeah, back here for Chaz. I'm saying if I got quotes, if I got a diver, it would be a Sea Dweller. Odds just went from 15% to 45%. He can bundle up all those other brands he owns and get it.
That's what my wife said, by the way. She said, she said if you, she said if you want another Rolex, you got a box full of watches. Go in there and trade them in.
You
Yeah, but
have that watch
She,
equity.
yeah, but
your
I
Grand Seiko
couldn't.
is worth $5, so that's not gonna do you any good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I didn't even mention this. I'm not even going to bring the sinking chip into it.
yeah. The Seikos are probably free.
Right, right, right. More than willing to
Rob is
spend your
saying,
money.
yeah, we're gonna spend your money. Yeah, Colin, smart lady. Um, Colin is Rolex fanboy here. He's he's like the dark angel, on your shoulder. So do you? Thanks again, Chris. So do you walk in the room first or the Rolex?
Yeah, you have to walk in with your Rolex.
Yeah, you gotta walk in with your.
No,
But I
I
mean,
mean
no.
you just knock in and like do this.
Yeah.
Oh, I have a Rolex.
How does Mrs. Chaz like the Explorer?
She loves it. She said it. She said, in fact, she complimented most of my watches. She's, just kind of like, hey, glad you like them. Um, but she looked at, she, oh, that's really pretty. She said, that's really nice. So
Yeah.
she was very, very supportive.
Bobby saying did Rolex fat shaming and ridiculous Chaz's other watches, ridiculing Chaz's other watches. Poor guy volunteered into the stream and he's walking out getting therapy.
Right.
Nah, Chaz.
No, I mean I have the same watch that Chaz has, the Grand Seiko Pika, $5.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not. I'm never going to sell this because it was a gift from somebody, like close to me. But the Willard is like free, like the homeless won't accept a Willard. They can't get their joint if you give them. Like they're like, we can't sell these pieces. Like, no. So Seiko are just done.
Yeah. Well, look, Chaz, congratulations again on the Explorer 2. I know you've been looking for that piece for a long time and you finally got it. Made the right
Thanks,
moves,
man.
found the right one at the right price. And that's awesome. I'm so happy for you. You're part of the club. Dib no longer in the club for now. Hopefully one of these days he'll get back in, but no longer in the club. And Dib, thank you
I'm
for
I'm I'm, I'm perfectly happy with a Seiko and a Grand Seiko.
yeah, sure.
He's back. He's coming back.
And
He's
the
coming
Ming
back.
and the Ming, right? You got the Ming.
Yes, I mean, I have so many depreciating assets that I don't even feel the need to have something which appreciates in value.
Yeah.
It's like I've learned the truth.
Yeah, yeah. You seen the light. You seen the light. Anyway, well, I'm happy that you're with your affordables that you can be proud of. That's something to be said. Anyway, thank you, Div, for coming on as well. Stream, thank you, chat. Thank you for all your comments.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it, you guys.
Thanks,
Always at
everybody.
the start of the show. See you guys this Friday for another Bobby Legs live stream, and Sunday for a watch soup. Have a good night, folks. Take it easy.
Bye.